while since I've made a video to upload to the Big Transit Adventure channel, but the business that I'm in, June, July, August is extremely busy time for us, so that's why there's been a big gap in video work and uploads and that sort of thing. So we're still working on the van. I'm in no hurry. I still have time to work before retirement. But we're working on the van. We're getting it squared away, and also part of our retirement plan and part of our Big Transit Adventures, and we're gonna do some traveling on a low budget, is gonna find a place to reside that's on a low budget. So we've purchased some, we're in the process of purchasing some property from my in-laws in Lewiston, Michigan, which it's a wonderful place to be. Even in the summer, the nights are nice and cool. We love going up there, and so it's an undeveloped piece of property, just over an acre, 1.3 acres, all wooded. We spent a couple of weekends up there cutting some trees and trying to clear the property and reclaim some of the land. Long-term goals for that property is to reside on it. We're going to get out of the city. Once I'm retired, we're gonna head up there, up north, stay there for the summers for sure, spring, fall. I love it. It's going to be an off-grid type property to keep costs down, powered by solar, water obtained by well. I've already brought up there 330 gallon water holding tanks, so it's going to give me 1,000 gallons of water that my well will fill. It's going to be one of those shallow sandpoint wells that I'm going to try and install, and I don't need a high volume of water, however long it takes to fill this 1,000 gallons of water storage I have between the well and rain catchment. That'll be our water, and I'll just have me a 12 volt pump coming off the tanks to give me all the pressure I need. So we're gonna have water from rain catchment and hopefully the well. Hopefully that works out, and we're gonna power our property with solar power and a battery bank. Just like the van. The van's going to be self-sufficient, right? We're going to have probably at least 400 to 500 watts of solar on the roof with a good-sized battery bank. We're going to have water storage on it, and the van's going to be self-contained. So between the property and the van, we're trying to keep our monthly expenses down. Not buying into the power company's supply. Not saying one day we won't put power on it, but right now it's pretty costly to get power on the property. And before I spend that kind of money, I can invest it in other ways. So right now we really haven't spent any money on the property. It's just been a little sweat equity, with a chainsaw and some snippers and a little push lawnmower. I'm really getting some work done up there. So that's what's going on. It's going to be an integral part of the channel as far as our Big Transit Adventures. This is going to be part that enables us to travel. So my parents go down to Florida and Naples for the winter. So the plan as of now is we'll shoot up northern Michigan for the summertime, and when it starts getting cold, maybe October-ish or something like that, we'll meander our way down to Florida. Spend some time with them in Naples. We'll bounce down to the Keys and be a bum down in the Keys for some time, and then slowly start making our way back north when it starts to get too hot down there and the weather starts to cooperate in Michigan. So that's kind of the game plan. Included in our game plan is also, our trip to Alaska. We're taking this van to Alaska. This is going to be probably one of our biggest trips that we do. I've always wanted to go there. I want to spend a couple of months in Alaska. Again, living off the grid. I'm not, trying to buy into parks and campgrounds every night. We're going to be self-sufficient, low budget, and that's going to be the way that we're going to spend our retirement years. So just try and stretch these dollars that we have out as long as we can, and do the things that we like. I'm not overly concerned with what the vehicle is that gets me to my destination. Like having a big motor home or a camper travel trailer that I'm pulling. I want to go kind of lean and mean, and if I see something cool that I want to see, the van's small enough, or hey, I whip a U-turn and go back and check it out. When I hauled my 30-foot camper, that wasn't always the case. I passed something and it was like, there's not a good place for me to turn around, so I would just miss it. So that's one thing that I do like about the smaller footprint of the van here. That it's going to enable you to get back to a little more remote places, see views that I necessarily wouldn't be able to see in a larger type motorhome, and the ability to keep my expenses down is going to allow me to travel further and see more. So I say I, but it's me, the wife, and my son will be probably off in college and doing his life, but hey, he's always welcome to come visit wherever we're at, and we'll have the flexibility to go visit wherever he's at. So I'm really looking forward to that aspect of things. And the dog, I know you saw the dog popping in and out of the picture here, so I'm bringing him with me on this little overnight excursion of work. So that's the game plan. So that's what this little video is about. So once we get up to the property, I'll break the camera out and kind of show you what I have done so far, and hopefully by the end of the day and a half or 2 days of work, I'll be able to show you a little more progress. So that's the game plan. And while we're up there too, I'll show you how this van's enabling me to stay there. It provides me a place to sleep, some shelter. My swivel seat's working great. This van's working out fantastic, and it was a good purchase, and I'm glad that we have it. So the last trip that I went up there, I found that I was averaging about 15 miles at a gallon. Better than it was originally. When we first got the van, took it to Florida, we were getting about 11 and a half to 12. So it's broke in now. We're at about 8,700 miles.
In 2 miles, take exit 216 to merge onto I-75 toward Flint.
Yep, jumping out. We're on 94 East, getting ready to jump on I-75 here. So it's August 8th, 2017. It's currently about 9:22 a.m. I just got off work from the fire station at 8 o'clock this morning, went home, grabbed the dog, grabbed a bag of clothes, stopped at my folks' house, got caffeined up. They made me a couple sandwiches for the road, and we're off. So anyway, I thank you for joining me on this adventure here in August. The weather's supposed to be decent up there in the 70s and no rain, so we're going to get some work done today. So thanks for joining me. Let's check in a little bit. Peace.
Until I-75 north.
So I'm driving up north, right? This was kind of a last-minute decision to run up north. As I'm driving, I realized that I forgot that I had I got this gash in my front tire that I need to get fixed. So I'm a little concerned about that. I don't want to have a blowout on the freeway. If it was a rear, either way, it's got to get fixed. It's a pretty nasty gash on the not on the sidewall, but on the very outside of the tread, and it's pretty deep. I must have caught something on the freeway at one point. So there's a Bell Tire here at 11 miles. I'm going to pull off and see if they can get a tire. I'd rather spend 45 minutes in Bell Tire's parking lot getting a tire put on than an hour on the side of the road changing a flat at an inopportune time. So little deviation from the plan. It's going to take me a little longer to get there than I thought. So, but hey, better be safe than sorry. So, got that going on. I'll show you this gash I got right here. I don't know if you can pick it up, but man, look at that. I'm not comfortable with that whatsoever. I got to get that fixed. Easy boy. All right, so I just ran into that Bell Tire there that was on, I don't know, 11 or 12 mile road, whatever it was, and they did not have the tire I was looking for. So they said their store down the street showed one in stock. So I'm going to shoot down there and hopefully we can get the same tire. I'm not looking to try and mismatch these fronts. So
Turn left.
hopefully this works out for me. All right, well, it's 12 o'clock noon and we're back on the road. Ended up getting that tire replaced, that Bell tire. And they got me all squared away, balanced and out the door. It took, I don't know, I was probably there for an hour and a half, but what are you gonna do? If I didn't spend an hour and a half at Bell Tire, I'd probably spend 2 hours on the side of the road, changing a flat and still need a new tire, so. All right, back on the road. Looks like the ETA is about 3 hours, so we should be up there around about 3 o'clock, so check you when we get there. Peace. Well, it's about 5 to 3 and we're just a couple minutes away, so we made pretty good time once we actually got moving. So I had to stop and get some gas, pick up some beer, stopped at the Amish store, picked up a couple 100 pounds of corn to feed the deer. I think we ran through our last little bit that we had up there last time. So yeah, all in all, not too bad. And we should be there in a few minutes. Yeah, this is looking at the front of the property. It's all grown in pretty good here. So I'll show you a little bit what I've cleared already. So this was just all completely overgrown when we started. And this was originally a driveway, but it was all overgrown with a bunch of sapling trees. So we went ahead and cut all those out of there. And starting to get a little bit of a clearing going on here. I want to open this up for some sunlight, so we can get some light for the solar action going on. So, you know, this is going to be solar powered. Get a well. You know, not really interested in hooking up power right off the bat over here, just because it's quite the cost factor. And before I spend some money on getting power, there's some other things that I want to spend some money on first. So need to get a like a shipping container for some storage. You know, right now I'm using my enclosed trailer, which is working pretty good. But you know, we're gonna need some more storage up here. So let me show you what else we got going. This is the old truck camper that came with the place. So back when my father-in-law bought this, I don't know, 17 years ago or so. So that needs to get broke down and hauled out of here. So I brought up one of the old 10 by 20 canopies that I have. Put one on over here and one over at my father-in-law's. And show you what's inside. Basically just some storage, you know, just to kind of keep it out of the elements and it doesn't, you know, have junk laying all over the place. So this is a bunch of poles from a few other 10 by 20 canopies that I have. This is the 330 gallon water storage tanks that I'm going to build, like an enclosure over that with a roof that'll be part of the rain catchment. And in the back there is some old staging from the party rental that I'm going to rip the plywood off and put like deck boards on there. And that's going to turn into a deck with a steel frame, so that ought to last quite some time. So that's what's going on in this little storage shed of ours. The sun's bright this morning, it's nice. So the only thing we've done is really a little bit of sweat equity. You know, haven't, you know, outside of, you know, making the payments towards the purchase, we haven't really invested any money. You know, it's just been work. You know, all this clearing that I have here that I've done, this has all been done with a chainsaw, some snippers, and a little 20-inch lawnmower. You know, that I had for years that I'm basically using as a brush hog to cut a lot of the small stuff. You know, so this is what is today? This is Wednesday morning. So I came up yesterday, slept great in the van last night, had a good night, and didn't come over here at all yesterday for the most part. Just burned a bunch of wood next door at my father-in-law's. You know, from the mass tree cutting that we did over there, dropping those 20-some trees, and we're still working on getting the brush cut. So as you can see behind me, we got a lot of brush to cut or burn over here as well. So when we come up for Labor Day weekend, I'm sure that's going to be the big part of it, is just start burning this stuff to get rid of it. So I had originally thought about maybe getting a wood chipper and chipping all this stuff, but you know, I don't know. Then when I chip it, and then what am I going to do with all these chips, you know? I mean, I thought about making a chip pathway, but then I thought, you know, when the weeds and grass starts growing through it, it'd be a kind of a pain to cut. So I decided against that. I'm just going to go old school and just burn it. So, but, so today, I don't know if I'm going to get any more trees dropped. There's a few of them. I got some dead ones, and I may drop those, but I'm going to start getting a lot of this stuff cut up and cut it and just stack it and try and get the twigs and stuff picked up, you know, so when it's time to cut the grass, I'll be able to cut it. So everything that you see in the clearing was just as thick as all this right behind me. I mean, that's what it was like, if you can kind of see that, you know, just thick brush. And now we've actually got it down to where we can, I mean, the sun's touching this ground that hasn't probably seen it in, you know, I'll bet you 20 years, you know. So ever since he's had this place, it's been, you know, just thick trees and brush and coverage. So we're definitely getting some deer and some animals up here. I'm going to show you what I'm finding. Yeah, getting some fresh, I'm assuming that's deer. I'm not sure. You know, I'm used to seeing, I don't know if you can really see that. That's the kind of deer crap that I'm used to seeing, you know, the pellets. But this here, I don't know, man. It's tough to focus in on that. Who knows what that is? That's fresh, whatever it was just here last night. And no, it's not dog crap either. So we're looking at the future of the I'm going to call this the retirement property, you know. So that's what we're doing, you know. This is all part of the plan, you know, of the Big Transit Adventures. You know, we're going to be spending time here. We're going to be spending time on the road, and the overall thing, like I said earlier, is just doing this on the cheap, you know. Basically living like we're completely broke, you know, just to stretch the money out, you know. And I don't, when I say living like I'm broke, it's, you know, not because I necessarily have to. I mean, I guess I have to, right? If you want the money to last, you can't just squander it away and piss it away. But that's a choice that we're making, just to stretch this dollars out and have the money and the time to do the things that we want to do. And, you know, it's not about just acquiring a bunch of crap anymore. It's kind of the game plan we're going in. So, but anyway, it's 9:45, so I'm gonna just put a new chain on the chainsaw and got that all cleaned up and topped off with gas and some bar oil. And I'm going to come over here and get busy. So later on I'll come back and shoot a little video, and hopefully there's going to be, you'll see some difference. We'll get some work done over here. So, all right, we'll check up in a bit. Park the Transit, plug it in. Got some power at the tree there. Plugged in, the sun's hitting it. Got a little bonfire going from last night. So, all right, get to work. All right, about done working for the day, so let's run over and take a look, see what we got done. It's gonna be a little bumpy ride. I have to see if you, I don't know, if you notice a difference today. See, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and I can see what's been done today. So, take a little peek around. I'll have to do a little before and after shot, but you know, there was all these trees that were down, so I got those cut up. Some of the wood stacked, you know, over here. Some of the brush. Mowed the weeds to make everything one even length. So that's what we got done. It's opened up quite a bit in here. I mean, the sun's coming in here. I did take down a couple more trees. I use my father-in-law's generator and Sawzall, and you have these little, I don't know, 1 inch to 3 inch little stumps from some trees that we cut down. You know, something that, trees that were like about, I don't know, this size here. You know, that I had lopped off with a chainsaw. Some were bigger. You know, some were up to like 2 inch, you know. So I took the Sawzall and cut those down, so I didn't want to use the chainsaw because it was too close to the dirt, and I didn't want to trash my chain or my bar. So the Sawzall worked out pretty good. So still a lot of work to do, you know. Like I said, we're in no hurry. This is I don't know, 4-year project. I'm calling it about 4 years. Hopefully in 4 years we're getting real close to moving up here and living up here, and you know, kind of enjoying the simple life, you know. So I guess I should call this video, you know, so when I first started clearing it, as you can see, all the woods here like that, you know, all the way around. That's what this clearing was. That's what this was, you know. And all of this has been done. You know, I thought I was going to have to rent me a little mini excavator, and you know, I got a price on a guy to come out and clear the property for me. He wanted to charge me like $3,000, which, hey, it's, you know, his time, his equipment, it's definitely worth $3 grand, but $3 grand's nothing I wanted to invest in when my sweat equity doesn't really cost me anything, and I really don't have anything in it besides my time and some gasoline, you know. So, you know, I'm using this old 20-inch lawnmower that I had from home. Just sharpened, put a new blade on there, sharpened it up, and you know, I'm just calling it a brush hog. You know, I'm just whacking stuff with it. And I got the snippers, you know, the pruning shears, you know, to cut the saplings, and the chainsaw, and the Sawzall. I mean, that's what I've used. It's some low buck budget land clearing, I guess is what you'd call it. So I am going to have to rent a stump grinder to get rid of these stumps. You know, I'll wait till I'm done. I'm gonna say I'm about 1/3. I have about 1/3 of the property cleared so far. I'm probably gonna go, you know, 2/3 more of what I have here eventually. So I'll hold off on the stump grinding, renting the stump grinder until I'm all done, for the most part cutting trees, and then you know, once I get all this cleared over here, and I'll just rent the stump grinder for a weekend. And you know, we've got all these stumps to do. Next door to my father-in-law's place, he's got a bunch of stumps that we'll grind out too, you know. So I really, again, don't want to pay somebody to come do the stump grinding because their time's going to be, you know, costly. And if I could just rent the stump grinder for the weekend, pick it up on a Friday, bring it back on a Monday or something, give me a couple days of working and should get them all done. So, but anyway, well, it's 4 o'clock, and man, I'm about burnt out. So a lot of work today, and I'm gonna jump in the shower, get cleaned up, and I'm gonna have to start making the trek home, unfortunately. So this was just an overnighter, just to get some work done. So, you know, with our schedule and hockey and, you know, 2 jobs and everything else that's going on, there's not much time. So you just gotta get it when you can, you know, a little overnighter here and there, just come in and put in, you know, 8 hours worth of work, and, you know, we'll just keep adding those days up and it'll get done eventually. So, but, all right, just want to show you what I've got done. Last little view here, give you a little 360. Little 360 panorama. What we got going on here. So, I'm saving that little maple tree right there, a couple little maples, I'll save those. Get rid of the poplars and all the other crap that's in here. So I'll be getting rid of that camper here. That'll be coming up pretty soon. So, all right, cool. Just thought I'd share with you, and we'll check in a bit. Peace. All right, well, it's 5:30, and I just left Pops' place, so on my way home. So I'm pretty much beat. So it was a good solid day worth of work. Today, after a few cocktails last night, probably made today a little bit tougher. So, but yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting this property squared away. But it's gonna take some time. Definitely, it's like I said, I don't know, 4-year plan before we're really starting up here, on a regular full-time basis. So, and then that's gonna downsize our expenses and allow us to do some traveling. So, there's so many places that I want to see. I want to go out west. I want to go to Alaska. We'll be traveling from northern Michigan down to the Keys, and this will even give us the flexibility to travel up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's awesome up there. So this, when we're here, it'll just be a hop, skip, and a jump to the bridge. So anyway, yeah, it's on the way home. So it's 5:30. So it means I should be home around 9 o'clock. So all right. Check back in a little bit. So I stopped at the gas station right before we jumped on the expressway. Got me some hot Hunter sausage, jalapeno cheese curds, and to keep with the theme, jalapeno pretzel pieces. And then, since I was all jalapenoed, hot pickled jalapeno Brussels sprouts. Never had those before, so I'll try those when I get home. So. Little bit of dinner for the ride home. I love their Hunter sausage. All right, home, James. So let me tell you, I've sampled. The hot Hunter sausages are always good. First time for the jalapeno cheese curds. Yep, that won't be the last time. And the jalapeno pretzel bites won't be the last time for those either. Dog thinks he wants some, but for some reason, I'm just thinking the jalapeno's not gonna do too well with them. So, no jalapeno for you, dog. No jalapenos for you. What do you think of that? I know you think you want some. I don't know if you can see that, but just got a stone chip or a rock thrown at the windshield on the freeway, and man, that is a bad chip. That's not even a chip. That's a big ass crack. So looks like I'm gonna need a new windshield. And as soon as I heard that rock at the window, I knew that was a crack. And actually, I got hit with 2 rocks. So I may have another chip in this thing somewhere that I can't see. So this is a big old windshield in the Transit, so I'm sure it's not gonna be cheap. So I don't know. Maybe I can get it in and get one of those. Stone chip repairs. Maybe it'll keep it from spreading and buy me some time. We'll see. Alright guys, I'm about probably less than a half hour from home, and that is going to be it for this video. This is going to be a wrap. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time on a Big Transit Adventure. Peace.